Welcome back, everybody, if you're on the KIP TV channel, to another Final Fantasy Friday. We have some 14 up for you today, and I felt we should start by doing a couple roulettes. I want to kind of talk about my experience with 14, if that makes sense so far. This isn't by any means supposed to be any sort of, like, this is my comprehensive, this is, you know, should be treated as my final, you know, kind of video on this topic. That's in the works for ARR at some point, but I kind of wanted to just talk about it for a little bit because the Fall Guys event the queues are still pretty long. It looks like, you know, we're still having a little bit of server load. So I figured that, you know, I would talk about this while I did some roulettes and just kind of get my thoughts across, as well as, you know, being able to get my roulettes done. We are approaching, of course, the end of ARR. We are past Crystal Tower. We are past, we are past Crystal Tower, aren't we? We're on the last, like, I think 18 or so quests until ARR actually ends. And there's a lot that I want to do still. Technically, I'm playing this in the worst way possible because I already have two 90s. So, I mean, I'm playing 14 in one of the weirdest ways, if not the most weird way possible. And, I mean, the leveling isn't that bad. Like, I came from RuneScape, specifically old school RuneScape back in the day felt a little better because every damage you did gave you like 4 XP. So if you hit a cow in Lumbridge, right, you would get 4 XP per damage. They took that away. I think it's like damage per kill in RuneScape 3 after EOC, Evolution of Combat. Point being, context me coming from RuneScape, I've generally had issues with leveling. So that's kind of why I go so ham into it. Plus, I don't have the attention span to really delve into it. I don't have the attention span to really delve into mass questions. Like, I had issues with, God, one small favor. If I didn't have a guide, I would have never finished that, you know. Going into endgame RuneScape, I mean, for hard mode Zuck, you know, everyone's saying you need Disruption Break. To do that, you need to go to Livid Farm. You need to grind out Disruption Break from there, or so Disruption Shield. You know, you have your entire Prif quest line, and then going into that, you go into your Azazandra quests and stuff like that. That gets you Soul Split. Soul Split's, you know, especially ticking between Prayer and Soul Split, definitely necessary. It's kind of actually a nice change of pace, though. For Pink Bean stream confirmed. It's actually a nice change of pace in comparison to my experience with RuneScape. And, you know, I've experienced a WoW clone, you know, in regards to Lord of the Rings Online. WoW clone, but now it's kind of developed its own identity. So 14 is kind of interesting, even in ARR, when there were budgetary constrictions, there were constraints when they were making ARR from the, for lack of a better word, interesting game, excuse me, that was basic Final Fantasy XIV. That was an experience from everything that I understand about it. And 14 is its own game. I think that when you are talking about the top, like, 5 MMOs, I do agree. You know, 14's up there, RuneScape's up there, WoW's up there, Guild Wars is up there, and ESO is up there. I think pretty definitively, as far as broad generalizations are concerned, I feel that does fit. After playing controller with 9 on 10 years boggles my mind how people play with keyboard and mouse. I've never played on controller, or at least for 14. I mean, in, like, the mounts as well. The mounts are pretty cool. The minions are pretty cool. I haven't really had to delve into anything in regards to titles or anything. PvP, I will say, at least Frontlines. I can't really speak to Crystalline Conflict since I haven't played it. Frontlines feels like it can snowball really quick, though, which is potentially problematic. It just depends. I mean, it is, what, 24v24v24. It's a 72-player lobby. So, I mean, you're gonna run into issues. I mean, there's just gonna be a lot of people on a map at any given point in time, and it's just gonna be really hectic. I do think that in regard to balancing, I hear that mages used to be pretty great because they used to be able to mortar things, but with that gone, I feel melee has way too much range. But this is also coming from the opinion in the stance that 14 isn't really made for PvP, right? I mean, or at least at the very least, not front lines. And that's perfectly fine. If you're going to have a mode that's not your de facto game mode, right? I mean, it's fine. And there are people that will play Frontlines. I mean, there's people that are going to do it outside. They're going to play it outside of their roulettes, and that's perfectly fine. My nitpicks with Frontlines may not be someone else's nitpicks with Frontlines. My nitpicks with certain systems may just be that, nitpicks, you know? And at that point, it's, well, what would you do better? And if I don't have an answer for that, right, you know, it's just kind of a null point. I have no idea how to overhaul Frontlines if that were the case, if that were a question being asked, you know, because what do you do? Do you, like this, I'm perfectly in the wrong position. So yeah, I'm gonna get ganked. Like that's perfectly, that makes sense. You play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid projects, or prizes, excuse me. 3 teams, 72 people, no pre-made parties. Yeah, right. So you're getting into a team of, you know, what, 24 people each team that are just absolute randoms. Some might be new at the game because you'll need to be level 30 with your first jobstone, right, to access this. Or you could be up to 90 in Endwalker. Frontlines is waiting for your team to accidentally win so you can get your bonus. I mean, yeah. And that's if that's what it is in terms of a roulette, as generalized as that is, I mean, it's what, 10 minutes out of your day? So, isn't really going to be a competitive fix. No, and that's the thing, is that not every game has to be a incredibly finely tuned PvP experience. You can have just PvE experiences. In fact, I'm a PvE player. I really don't do well in PvP environments just because it's not my thing. I would much rather do, you know, a raid with fixed mechanics that I know what to look out for and how to fight it versus, you know, fighting somebody who has hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousand hours on me on their account, and they're just gonna, smack me upside the head, effectively, right? So while we can acknowledge, seemingly everyone in chat, that, you know, Frontlines isn't necessarily the Premier 14 experience, it does give you rewards. It gives you experience. It gives you cool, like, weapons. Like last, it was what, Small Ruby weapon last season, right? It's Tourmaline weapon this time is the minion, right? And it's optional content. It gives you cool, really cool stuff, you know, weapon pets, right? For, at this point in time, seems like they're going through that, to go through the content and to spend time in the content, but it's far from required. And even then, it comes down to someone like me, effectively, that black mage is healing way too much. Oh my god, that's scary. It comes down to min-maxing in a certain capacity. For me, in ARR, I had to do a lot of Frontlines to level up to 90. 14 experience, the best there is. It's quote-unquote best. And I'm sure there are people that don't love Frontlines, and I'm sure people that love Frontlines are going to be like, well, Kip, you're absolutely wrong, actually. If you're able to coordinate with your team in chat, and you're able to understand your class and the way that it functions, and that, you know, you can really turn around any conflict. And I'm sure you can. I'm not stating that you really can't. I fully admit I have a skill issue when it comes to PvP games in general. So get me into a Frontlines situation where it's as hectic as it is, and, you know, really not even being outside ARR, so realistically very, very new to the game still. And yeah, I kind of just am a little off-put by it, if that makes sense. Coordinate with your team in chat. I've seen people try to do that. They're like, oh, don't take B2, or don't take this. I have to obviously hide chat for obvious streamer reasons, right? There are people that do try, but then I've also seen people that'll try and they're just like, nah, just AFK in base. It's not winnable. So, I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag. You could get on a team that wants to be super try-hard, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you all want to do that. You can get on a team where somebody's watching Kitchen Nightmares in the other screen, or they're watching, you know, or listening to a podcast and they're only half paying attention, or a dingus like me streaming and constantly getting into team fights I have no business being in because I'm not reading where my team's at, right? And that leads into a potentially frustrating experience. But once again, that's not to... This is an aspect of the game, right? This is an aspect of the game that, yes, it gets updates. Yes, I'm sure it gets patches, tweaks, and balances. But for all intents and purposes, is this the main focus, right? Is this the main focus of the game? Is this where 14 is planning to really hit it big? I'd argue not. Yes, you have PvP for, you know, a specific type of player, right? You absolutely have the availability and ability to hop into a queue every day and kind of just get rewards from helping out with that player base, right? Because if you did get a daily reward from Frontlines, right, would there necessarily be many players in Frontlines? I'd be very curious to hear a veteran take on this, on that question. You know, if there was no Frontlines incentive for your everyday player that's level 30 and above, right, would we be seeing such a large amount of Frontlines players or ability to only have a 5-minute queue. I know I've gotten on at like 4 a.m. my time, right? And it's definitely been like almost a 30-minute queue for Frontlines. And it just depends on time of day, right? I mean, you know, people gotta sleep, people gotta work. Like, I don't think that necessarily having low times in player activity is a bad thing, because people gotta eat, people gotta work, people gotta sleep, people have things that they have to do other than play a game. That's kind of my 2 cents on that specific ideology at the very least. 3 a.m. time for PvP. I mean, I've had to do it. I've literally had to do it because, you know, late editing and stuff. Which actually, as of seeing this, at the end of every video on the TV channel and the reaction channel, you should see end cards. End cards should be working. I still have about at time of this, I have about 450 videos I have to go through to actually put end cards on older React content videos. But I also am reaching out to a bunch of creators. I actually had a creator message me back. Right now, they're going to be nameless. Creator reached back out. They said that they're okay with React content, but it can't. They'd prefer if it doesn't take up the full screen. So I am good. Just like, hey, I mean, I'm more than happy to take all these down if you'd like. I can redo them with a, you know, an overlay that I have. That way, it doesn't take up that much of the screen. So, you know, that also might make my work life a hell of a lot easier, because I'm asking for permission and consent to react to content on the React channel, and, you know, I might have to do re-uploads anyways. So we'll see where that goes, pretty much. But, you know, I'm doing my best to reach out at this point in time. So you should see end cards popping up on videos now, you know, showing the 2 videos. Like, I should not have saved in this fight. And there's no reason I should have even even challenged this. Do anything PvP, even though the glams are really nice. There's no rewards, then I can't imagine getting with it all. And I think that's the general perception of it, right? That's generally why people go into Frontlines, right? You know, you queue up with a bunch of randoms across 3 teams, and you smash your forehead against the W key for 10 minutes, and then you collect your rewards, right? It's how some people will view that. You know, whether that's right, whether that's not. Ultimately, it's your game. You pay your own sub. You do what you want with your time, right? As long as you're not, you know, harassing devs, harassing people, which, you know, all of that stuff applies. Which, God, like, the 14 forums, like the official 14 forums, are a magical place. Just adjacent from that subject we just discussed. The 14 forums are a magical place, and it's wild whenever I hear things go on there. Mission is usually less work than asking forgiveness. It really is. And it's like, it just saves me a bunch of headache as well in terms of React content. I'm not going to be doing a huge explanation and bit on this, because that's why the React channel's there. Just kind of updating everyone. It's like, it just makes me feel a lot better, because, hey, I've asked, they're perfectly fine with this, and or if they're conditionally okay with this, they've defined the stipulation, or, well, and or, furthermore, I have asked them saying, look, if you're not okay with this, I'm more than happy to comply and take down my videos. Like, I'm more than happy to do that, to respect your wishes. Cool, I've literally defused any possible situation there. And, yeah, I just need to know what they think. Yeah, that was a bad call, going down there. 14 forums are a hellscape that no one should ever enter. Part of me thinks that they're there just to contain that kind of commentary. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a psyop. But it's also the 14 forum, so maybe I think people think that saying certain things there, or maybe complaining about certain things there, are going to have greater impact. I don't know. 14 forum users confuse me. And even then, if 14's not a game for you, 14's not a game for you. You pay your sub fee. Do what you want to. If you want to just go for glams, if you want to just go for minions, if you want to go for ultimates, which I don't think I have the mechanical skill to go for ultimates, even when I get to Endwalker, right? Do what you want to. Just, you know, try not to make anyone's game experience lesser. Oh, I'm invisible now. Yeah, servers have got to be under heavy load still. Like, that's the only real thing I can think of. I don't quite get it. It's got to be because of how busy it is. Marine ways do it. I mean, yeah. So people on the forums get away with telling people basically game themselves for opinions. Right, and that's actually a thing that I'm kind of concerned about a little bit, right? Is it took out, for reference, right? So that way I'm being transparent. It took my mod team, took Kiwi and Rev specifically, saying don't go to the 14 forums. You don't want to go to the 14 forums. This is what you're going to experience there. I can showcase examples, and they have showcased examples of what you're going to find on the 14 forums. It's just not a positive place in the things that I've experienced there personally. Not to say that it's not a positive place in general, right? I really can't say that because that's a broad generalization. But I've seen a lot of posts that I'm a little concerned why they're up. But, I mean, that could also just be certain 14 and Square Enix policy things. And it's above my pay grade. There's definitely been some you should game end yourself posts on the 14 forums that don't seem to get banhammered. But maybe banhammering them also acknowledges them in some weird way. It empowers them and their platform. I don't know. Like, I'm having to do mental gymnastics for this one. Yeah, like he's escaping like he should. All in all, I'm incredibly certain that if you're playing Crystalline Conflict, right? And I should have been using my limit break. I have really not been paying attention this whole game, being completely honest. If you were playing Crystalline Conflict, I'm sure it's a completely different ball game. It's a completely different meta game, and there's a lot other things that come into play there. Frontlines is a piece of the PvP experience, and it really comes down to you don't. I mean, I think you don't even get a pre-built team with your Crystalline Conflict one. All right, you're done. I will drop that limit break on you. I'm petty. Yeah, I got cornered. No way. That's all. I mean, that's also showcases. I mean, the melees are able to just catch up to casters so easily, and they have such big leaps and stuff. So, I would argue, and some a frontline veteran would have to confirm this. I feel that melee DPS is honestly where this game is played. You know, like Samurai Reaper, even maybe Red Mage potentially, depending on if you're able to execute the right combos. Well, technically that's magical DPS. It just feels like, to me, melee was made really strong. A super elite go to inflate their egos. I don't know. Like, I can't stand that. Like, don't get me wrong. I complain about my uptimes as Black Mage on Thunder, right? Like, I think I should be at least above 80% Thunder uptime, which, you know, people hear that and go, haha, lol, what? What do you mean? 60% is perfectly fine. Which, you know, and if that's how I want to play Black Mage, that's how I want to play Black Mage. You know, it's probably the wrong way to play Black Mage and borderline impossible. I don't know why that Red Mage didn't just completely clean my clock. That was a little strange. Stop with 80, nerd. Right. And that's the thing. If I start telling people, right, Black Mage should always have over a 90% uptime on their Thunder, right? Don't I just come across as entitled and kind of a prick? Don't you think that would come across as rude and ruin someone's experience? If they can clear the content, that's all that really matters. If they can play the game, cool. I'm happy. They're happy. Everybody's happy. And that's kind of the nature that 14 seems to foster, even circling back to the PvP community, right? People go into front lines. They don't really expect the world. There are people that were... what was it in WoW? There was the activity, the PvP activity, where you had to... It was 2 teams. There were towers across the map. And part of it was, you know, having team members to stay behind to defend your own towers. Apparently, when Dragonflight launched, or was launching, people were reporting players for, in that PvP mode, standing by their own towers and defending them. Allegedly, I guess I have to say, as I'm not into the WoW community, I don't understand a lot of the things, if that makes sense. And this is through the grapevine, right? Like, you don't see that in 14. Or if you do, I mean, generally, I would feel there's other issues at play there with the person reporting. It's nice to have a game that and a community that feels like, yeah, we're just here to do content. We're just here for fun and memes, right? Awesome. Reported for doing mechanics, right? That should never happen, right? Like, if I were to report someone in here for AFK, right, and they clearly weren't AFKing, I feel I should suffer a penalty. And I absolutely would expect a penalty. Alterac Valley, Bridge 1 for Manila matches could take hours. Alterac Valley sounds familiar. It was a neat little game. It was fun. But yeah. The long and the short of it is PvP is interesting. It's not necessarily the Premier 14 experience. There are reasons to do it. there are reasons to go in, especially when you get your rewards, right? When you get your was it Malmstones or whatever, your crystals and stuff, and even then you get cool pets and stuff, and you get a cool mount every season. And the drip, I mean, I'm using last series' PvP set for casters for Magic DPS, and it's good. Like, I have zero issues with it. It kind of gets slow rolly, don't get me wrong. Like, it gets a little interesting at times. What do you mean no duty's been selected? Did I unselect it again? Yeah, I did. So, understand that PvP, you might like it, you might hate it. There are people that like it, there are people that hate it. Just, if you feel like you want to play it, play it. If you feel like you just kind of want to do your dailies, play it. If you don't want to play it, don't have people pressure you into playing Frontlines. I say this, but I literally pressure our mod Q into playing Frontlines every single time. So, yeah, it's one of those that it's not the premier experience. It is an experience, and it's okay. I have mail. You know what? I do have mail, and I'm still not going to answer it. 11 minutes, I should probably invite. I still got to go through Dungeon, Leveling, Trials, MSQ, and Alliance. So I got to go through all the big ones. I figured this would be a good kind of starting point to talk about some of these things and experience of all time, if you will. Yeah. Hashtag streamer privilege. What do you mean streamer privilege? What? No, that's probably my subscription stuff. So, but this gets another Final Fantasy Friday out of the way, and I feel I needed to kind of just talk about it because I have to go back through and do a retrospective. Did you watch the Heavensward trailer? I have not yet. I haven't dealt with anything Heavensward. I'm still in ARR, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm almost there, though. I'm like 18 quests off from the end. Hi, how's it going, Grimlock? So, there is a PvP mode. You don't have to engage in it. You can engage in it if you want to. That's where I'm going to leave that. I guess going on to other aspects of the overworld while we're waiting, right? That's still 11-minute queue time because we're in DPS queue. So, the Gold Saucer is actually a really cool location, and I haven't delved too much with it. This is actually where the current Fall Guys event is. There's a person that'll transport you to the little hub area. But generally, I log out here because it counts as a sanctuary. Anytime you log out, this is for new players that don't quite know, right? Everyone that plays 14 knows what I'm talking about when I mean rest bonus, right? You rest in a sanctuary, and because you rested in a safe area, you're rewarded with bonus XP. That's what the blue bar is down here. Right, it doesn't show my mouse. My XP bar, where it says SMN 61 at the bottom, blue XP means I get faster EXP gains. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. It incentivizes you to, hey, I'm done for the day. I'm going to log out in a safe area, which is kind of, I like it, actually. I mean, like, in old MMOs, there were reasons to log out in cities, right? Like, I was playing Lotra, right? And I would, in Arid Loon, I'd log out in Gondamon consistently, right? Because, oh, it's a safe area. I'm not going to get smacked, right? Like SMH, right? Well, so the funny part is, in regard to my Summoner, my Scholar is 61 as well, right? Because they level up at the same time. I have zero idea how to play Scholar. I've never played Scholar. So, it's interesting. Before we hit up leveling, I need to swap over to my Lancer because I'm leveling up Lancer on that specifically. It's the only thing I can really do with Lancer at the moment. So, yeah, bonus XP is neat. I like that it incentivizes you logging out. I do sometimes, especially in crowded areas, the titles over people's heads will get a little cumbersome, right? As you can see, I can't really touch on things. But 14 also accommodates for this by, oh, you can just, for me, hit X and you select the right NPC. I like that. I really like that. There's a lot of cool features in this game. I will give the UI some crap, kind of. The map isn't necessarily the most up-to-date. However, they have said that they are looking at addressing it in some capacity, and I don't really have any fixes in mind. Just kind of if you're new at the game, right? If you're looking at 14, the map is probably going to throw you off a little bit. I feel it's kind of a product of its time. AR being able to direct control my fairy, broke my mind, enjoyed every second of it. Scholar sounds like it's going to be fun. Like, I've played the intro quest, but I haven't actually delved into it. Gold Saucer has a lot more cooler areas as well. Got its plazas and stuff that timed events happen in. I need to check my PvP profile, actually. Hey, I'll take that. I'm already level 6. I need to hit 15 for the weapon, 25 for That should be the mount, right? No? That's PvP. So when's the mount? That's a framer kit. Framer kit. I could have swore there was a mount. Oh well. Usually there's a mount with PvP. 1.0, they had a fatigue system so you couldn't just grind levels. It basically forced you to log off. It feels like they kind of took that and turned it into a positive. So it's not forcing you to log off. It's incentivizing you to log off. Or rather, just sit in a safe area for rollover, right? No mount this season, special armor this time? I mean, I'll take it. There's not a mount this season. It's special armor. I'll take it. Not tilted in any way. It's actually kind of cool. So, running teleportation as well, because that's a huge one when it comes to ARR as well. You can obviously teleport to any of your lodestones, which I actually really like. I like that you have the ability to go a number of different places. And it really, yes, it costs gil, which was a huge factor when I first started playing. But I'm going to go hide my model really quick. This is just for me literally like half playing the game, if you will. Need to find the actual right... Sorry, give me a second. I need to find my model on here. There it is. I'm at like 1.2 mil. Like, money isn't hard to make in this game. Just play the game. Now, large amounts of money, don't get me wrong, that's a different story. That's like, I want to buy Divine Serpent Aranka, the gold one, but that's like, is it still 25 mil? I can't remember. Not calling the proper term. What do you mean? Oh, lodestoning? No, it's not lodestoning, that's RuneScape. Aetheryte networking? Whatever. Said wrong word. What do you mean? Yeah, it's 25 mil. Like, getting that, okay, might be a problem. But, I mean, just play the game. Especially when you get into crafting and stuff. Man, the Mora fish, though, from ocean fishing, man, those are expensive. I love the Mora cult. And guild caps on multiple characters. It's definitely possible. Yeah, Aetheryte, there we go. Oh, I forgot I have the Fat Cat umbrella out. Yeah, I need to look at upping the graphical fidelity of this again. Kiwi, their yard is bare. I have to give Kiwi, or mod Kiwi shit, because he'll go on about neighbors. More minion from ocean fishing. I need to get that more minion, actually. Big cumulative score, absolutely. Which, friend companies are kind of cool. I like the, I mean, they activate, they're like guilds, right? They're kind of cool. We have a free company if people are interested. If you need an group. Kiwi heads it and hasn't been doing his job. He has put the Fat Cat in the tank, though. I do appreciate this. Like, if we're gonna go down here, look how bare this is. Do you see this, chat? You see how the feng shui is out of place here? Can I get an F for Kiwi in the chat? And then obviously in your friend company as well, you can also have your other things you can do. Like, for example, I can go to my own little private area. You have to level up in your grand company to a certain point. These are all just things that have been gifted to me by people in chat. How about some Gil and Kiwi's mail for furniture? Kiwi, you literally have like 6 mil. What are you talking about? Yeah, I like it. I like that you can have your own little area and you can obviously decorate it with certain things. It's not, apparently, allegedly, there's an out of bound glitch that people can use to like have like obstacle courses. I have yet to see this, and apparently it's perfectly fine. I just haven't really seen it yet. Yeah, housing is expensive though. Expect to pay an arm and a leg. Also, there are definitely issues with the housing system. It's a lot better now, but when a property has to go up for sale first, right? Someone either has to vacate it, sell it, something, right? Something has to happen for property to become available. And then it enters a lottery system, so everyone has to go to that property and they have to bid on it. And obviously the larger the property, the more desirable it is, the more people are going to be fighting for it, right? And after, I think it's 45 days of inactivity in general, you will have people that, or you'll have homes just vacate themselves. What do you mean? No. What are you trading me? What is that? Rev, why are you giving me worm? Thank you, Rev. I'm gonna go figure out where is worm in my inventory. But yes, I know my inventory is awful. I'm aware. Oh, I need to summon it now. I think I have to put away my umbrella first, yeah. Minion guide. Yeah, the menu's the UI's a little bit dated, but once you get used to it, like I'm starting to get more and more used to it, it makes a lot more sense. He the smallest of snake boys. Look at him. Thank you, Rev. I love him. This is to... At some point, I've already said that I'm going to be doing the Pokemon thing this game does. The minion battle. We're gonna literally the past 3 hours. I hopped on, and you weren't answering. So, meh. he do small. Oh, the capybara, though, is pretty cool, though. The capybara just has a towel on it at some point. Give me... He worm. I love worm. He. Oh my god. Yeah, Kiwi, you're never on. Like, I play this game more than you do. What do you mean? Water. Yoshi, there might be some things, mainly in housing, because of floating items that won't be possible after this collisions update anymore. Try to keep as many of them as they are right now. If something broke, please let us know. We try to fix and reverse it. Interesting. Rhino. Look at him. He. That is truly blurst, if you will. All right, because we're entering dungeons, I figure I should probably actually hop in VC with Rev at this point. Because Rev is our resident Final Fantasy expert. Dog.
I'm an expert now?
Yeah. Yeah, you're the expert, right? You stream Final Fantasy XIV and other Final Fantasy games. You're clearly the expert here.
I stream, yes.
No shameless plug.
I mean, yeah, follow Remy Moore on Twitch and YouTube.
He'll
all I got.
Yeah, his I'll make sure to put his things in this jellyfish. What is this jellyfish? I love it. Isn't that like 6'4"? Yeah, it's 6'4", right?
No, it's Beastro.
Wow, Reshade really did this thing a lot of justice.
Yeah, we'll fix that later. Mine's also broken right now. I need Kiwi to help me with that.
Yeah. Kiwi doesn't know.
Oh,
Peter,
16.
Peter the horse is here? Oh. Bye, Kiwi.
Bye, Kiwi.
Someone didn't queue up for dungeon. So, what are your thoughts on dungeons, I guess? Because that's our next part. That's kind of the next part I'm kind of hopping on in terms of reviews. There's certain dungeons that are cool. This is probably going to be pretty fun. The one with the floating eyeball is kind of cool, but the fact that you have to stand on certain things. I mean, it's kind of cool.
That's an alliance raid.
No. It's the dungeon, right? Where you have to... It's the giant flying eyeball, and it's in Coerthus.
Oh, yeah. All
yeah. Right. So part of the issue I had with dungeons was some of them you have to go out of your way to find. They're absolutely missable content. But once again, well, they can also... They can only streamline the game so much. And the fact that they cut down... I would assume ARR was probably over 300 quests on release. Like, I'd be willing to guesstimate that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, ARR, even in modernity, is still pretty long. But they cut down a lot of what they could to help new players get into it, which I have immense respect for. So, yeah, if you're going to have some dungeons, then you're going to be able to miss them. I mean, there's only so much they can do without halting your player experience and railroading it. And isn't there a distinct difference between ARR dungeons as well as post-ARR dungeons?
Yes.
Because, like, these are pretty...
linear.
Well, I thought after ARR they became more linear.
Yeah, this is where it starts becoming pretty linear. ARR's more open concept.
Right. Changed a lot of the dungeons to support solo play with NPCs. That I can respect as well. Because, like, what if you're not on when all your friends are on? Or, like, What if you're on, but Kiwi's off in Limsa trying to get Gil, right? But you're like, damn, I want to play Dungeon Roulette. Cool, you have people to play with, or you have NPCs to play with. I mean, the content also isn't... I mean, you can breeze through it with the right group, but you're not invincible, which I kind of like. It's... You still have to put thought and effort into it. Arrow to Heavensward are some of the most entertaining for me to this day. Oh, well, I guess I'm here now.
Yes, become one with the toad.
The toad just, literally just Mortal Kombat Scorpion me over. I mean, give me enough time. I'm sure that I could actually probably just tank the toad. Although we are hitting damage tables, so I probably can't do that anymore. The interest mechanics and wave sprouts die in them always amuse me. Well, I mean, yeah, that year of Lalafell, that definitely tracks. That is classic Lalafell behavior. I mean, that's the thing is, so there are a lot of games out there that'll hold your hand, right? 14 kind of does that, but 14 is also one of those games that after a certain point is just gonna be like, look, like, we're just gonna, like, you know, throw shit at you. You're either gonna do it or you're not. Einhander is
through Heavensward, or through A Realm Reborn, and then it's just put your hands up. You're going to fight now.
Yeah, I mean, at least it eases you into it a little bit for the first, for the base game, the post game, and then the first expansion. At least it kind of, like, you know, helps ease you into that.
Oh.
I don't actually know what this mechanic is.
Get away from the bombs.
Oh. Damn. And here I was thinking that that'd be a problem. You should be learned by 4th expansion. You know, I agree with that, though. Like, at a certain point, you're going to come to a point and it's going to be like, look, you either know how to play this game fairly well, or, I mean, something went horribly wrong along the way, right? By Heavensward, you should know your class, and you should know how your class is going to... Unless you're Black Mage, because that changes every 10 levels. That's kind of the niche exception. But you should know how your class is going to play. You should know what you're doing. And should you necessarily know how to do ultimate content? Not necessarily, because people train for months to do that. But you should be able to go into really any base game encounter and be able to do it. Rev, no! See, you lived. Don't gaslight me. But if this is how the dungeons start to take their shape as they do in the rest of the expansions, you know, it leads to an in and out 15-20 minute adventure, right? Depending on the length of the dungeon and the party, I'm assuming. So it's not really anything to be worried about. It's, yeah, dungeons, but with the right team, right comp, players know what they're doing. You can breeze through them fairly easily. Instructions unclear, stuck in warrior mindset. Ah, yes. I forgot about that. Oh, I'm about to eat some of that damage. I mean, to be fair, I'm also playing this class in probably the worst way you could play it. I'm literally just hitting Ruin 2. I'm hardly paying attention to my Gem Shine abilities. I am always casting, though, so I will say that.
Always be casting.
There's just no reason to not cast. Like, I like more numbers doing more number things. Damage tasty. Classic tank mentality.
I mean, that's why our guild is Volt Snacks. You gotta get all of them.
I should actually eat my... Speaking of snacks, should eat my cream cheese.
Yeah, it's just a mouthful of cream cheese.
Just gotta cram some cream cheese down really quick, get my EXP bonus. I mean, this is... I could see this being one of the longer dungeons, but I mean, like, the Ant Dungeon, that one's... I don't know, that one's a weird one, because you can get to a point where you can run it pretty quickly, but also if you get in the wrong group that doesn't know what they're doing, or you get in a group that just that doesn't want to take shortcuts, it is one of the longer dungeons, or at least it feels like it. I don't think I've actually figured out the twin-headed boss from one of the dungeons, the fire and ice one. I don't think I've ever done that one without dying. So there is things you can learn. There are things that you can pick up from some of these older dungeons that'll carry over into other expansions.
I guess Kip's the tank now.
I am the tank. I am not the tank. I don't know what's going on. I don't want help. I'm dead. Where did our party go? No, they got to be doing something in menu.
Possibly. I'm dead.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening there.
Healer, please. Healer. I know you're alive.
Well, no, both of them are just standing down there. So, but I mean, it's the risk you run into with running with randoms. Sometimes they just have something they have to do on another monitor. Potentially, they could also leave. I've had that happen a couple times. No, we should have pulled them down that way. I think they got attacked, so they started getting into it. And wow, you would have been crucified for doing that, though, right? You would have been crucified.
Pulling the enemies back down to the AFK players?
Not even that. I'm just being AFK in a dungeon, right? 14 is it showcases 14 is a community that is a lot more accepting and yeah, no shit happens. It's fine. The design of the dungeons is also pretty neat. They all have pretty unique things that they do. At least in terms of ARR. I can't speak to beyond it, but I hope that this pattern does keep up past ARR. Ooh, that's big damage. Three. Also, hotbars, while we're on that subject. I mean, my hotbar is kind of a mess. We're just going to acknowledge that. My hotbar is pretty bad. I haven't really, outside of a few certain circumstances, really needed to use anything in ARR or post-ARR above Ruin 2. It just puts out a bunch of damage. And I know Summoner, that'll change. A lot of that'll change once we get into higher levels. Especially where you can summon Bahamut, because what is it, Bahamut's your rotation and stuff. The rotations, as far as I'm aware, from a lot of the tweaks that they've made since really Final Fantasy XIV first came out, it's been a lot more streamlined. And sure, there's certain classes like Samurai that miss certain things that they used to have. But really, it's kind of simple to pick up any class. To be good with it's a different issue entirely, but really, I picked up Black Mage one day. I was like, I'm playing Black Mage now. And yeah, I mean, you burn things, and then you cast ice to recharge things, then you burn more things. It's arson the class. It's kind of great. Summoner, I cast Ruin 2. Sometimes I have a Carbuncle do things by ether charging it. Red Mage, I like to gamble. I have a gambling addiction. No, I don't have a gambling addiction. What?
Why are you gambling on Red Mage?
Because it's the gambling class. What do you mean?
I literally playing Red Mage. There's no gambling about it.
Yeah, there is. You have to fish for your you do your one ability to get another free ability. It's buy one get one free. But some of them you gamble with.
And then you can force the gamble with acceleration, which will always be off cooldown by the time you need it again.
Yeah. Point being, Red Mage is gambling. And I love it. Oh, gambling addiction is Dancer? I guess, yeah. From what little I know of Dancer, I could see that, actually.
I love playing Dance Dance Revolution in Final Fantasy.
Did you fight? But Rev, did you select your partner?
Yeah, I always just on my dance part.
When you forget the dance partner, everybody in queue.
I always on my dance part.
Well, I know who's not getting the commendation this time.
The DPS, because we never get comps. Please calm your DPSs. Tanks and healers don't always need them.
Nah, tanks and healers always need them. Ow. Yeah, you know, maybe standing in the red glowy lava wasn't the best call.
Nah.
They hoping they delete crit variance from the game, anywhere from 50k to 130k. I haven't really had to deal with crit actually. How bad is crit variance?
Multi-crit stacking is bad. It's exactly what Virtual says. If you hit a crit, it can either be a super low crit or it can be a double/triple crit. That is like hundreds of thousands of damage.
It was. You'd like them to kind of close that gap a little bit, I'm assuming.
I would love them to close that gap.
Like if your low is 50, your high is 400. I mean, you're fine doing like consistently 250. Because at least you're doing consistent damage then, right? God, playing Black Mage after I play Summoner is always weird. Because cast times aren't a thing on Summoner, not really.
Yeah,
like they
Shadow
exist.
Could be to 330 if that was a bad variance.
80k 330, that's rough. Like, yeah, I crit. What'd you do? Not really anything.
You either tickle the boss or you punch the boss. There's no in between.
I know there are games like Smite that you can just build specifically for crit. I mean, maybe that would help. I don't know.
I mean, you can build materia to like build towards crits, but that's a waste of materia slots unless your class specifically calls for it.
I haven't had to use materia. I guess I should address that in ARR. Like, yeah, you get materia.
Don't need it.
I've never really felt the need to use it. I mean, it kind of sticks with what you guys are saying, unless you're doing really high end-game content or frogging was the word, right? Like, you're not really needing materia. And don't get me wrong, I'm the kind of person that, like, if there was an item that gave me, like, just using it gave me a 1% bonus to something, fuck yeah, 1%. Just never really felt the need for it. It's not needed if you're casual. I mean, and
if you're not doing ultimates and frogging, you don't need materia.
I mean, I'll probably do it at some point just because I'm that kind of player. Even if I play casual, I like min-maxing shit. But I mean, it's not gonna like make me lose sleep or anything. Iron before like 7 point something update, hardest to beat comes back into play. You just use hardest to beat as a materia. And that's probably got to be a permanent change though, right? They're probably not going to do a lot more with materia.
No, not really. We're getting another 10 levels in 7.0, so we'll probably get another rank of materia.
Well, right. You can 100% do ultimates in Party Finder, source your sanity. That sounds awful.
Yeah. Don't do that. People do it. Don't.
I mean, if you're trying to do like a YouTube content or a challenge run, I mean, you could. It's like when you try to run Master Root of Nightmares in Destiny 2, right? Like, I mean, you can do it. You might be confused how people don't know their left from their right or how to read 4, 5, 6. But I mean, it's possible. And thankfully, in comparison to other games I've played, Final Fantasy XIV just seems a lot more. What do you mean? What do you mean? Cloud of Darkness is my first wall boss. There's another wall boss right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh god. I am the tank
So,
now.
in my defense, I forgot about this boss because we did it unsynced.
Yeah. Oh, this is the first time I'm doing it not synced. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Stay out of the blue. Got it. Isn't this the notes of the dragon song?
Why do you know about the Dragon Song?
Because of the stupid should you fap to 14 video I watched a while back.
Right.
And now I can't unhear it. Skip tank now. I'm always the tank. That's my secret. Ow. Ow. That was a big hit. Doesn't he do more damage the lower he gets?
He has more mechanics the lower he gets.
Oh. Yeah, we gotta run forward on that. You can't use positionals on him, though.
Oh, he's wall boss. You don't need positionals.
Yeah, so I was curious why he had the... I guess it's the target marker, to be fair.
It's a closed circle as well, so it's not a...
There's
something I haven't explained yet. Closed circles versus open circles, those dictate your positionals, or whether or not that doesn't matter.
Right, no, Joe Cat was saying closed circles. You don't need to really care. Yeah, so I'm assuming kill these things.
Yes.
It's like Ice White mechanic, it looks like. Okay.
Yep.
No, there was a Heart Vegan video I watched a while back. I had to take it down since then, I'm pretty sure. It was a video called Should You Fap to Final Fantasy XIV, and it went over how the Dragon Song was a really heartfelt part of 14.
Yeah.
You haven't been able to scrub that from my memory.
I wish I could.
Rev, that one game he would go back and play again for the first time, 14.
Oh, yeah. No, if I could play this as a Shroud again, I would.
That's a stack marker.
Yes, and stay on the stack, because it hit multiple times.
Big stack.
Typically, the tank's supposed to mitigate there.
Don't worry about it. He gets Prima Generator as a song because he's literally the father of all dragons. Thought that was Bahamut.
Yeah. Oh, Midgard or someone.
No, Bahamut transcended to godhood, right?
Yes.
Okay. A little different then. Did this used to be an 8-man?
Nope. It used to be where most new players got stuck, though.
Oh yeah, you were talking about how this was the wall. He was the proverbial wall.
It was quite literally the wall. This dungeon used to suck.
I mean, he seems like he's a lot better now.
Do like how it's raid wide is just disgust.
Yeah. He's just disgusted by it. Oh, Bahamut is Midgard Summer's son. Okay, that makes sense. Ooh, I want out of that.
Safe spot in the middle.
I don't think they strike in the same place twice. The dragons, the lateral movement, or the lateral hitbox. That attack is actually kind of cool, though, that it layers it like that. Because that'll definitely come up in later fucking content.
Yes, they quite love those moves in later content.
The stack. Yeah. Is it because it's a larger stack marker that it, it hits multiple times, or is it just knowing the move?
If you look at the stack marker, it's got layers to it instead of just the one for the triangles.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. It's fine, we got this. Unless we fumble super hard right now.
No, we got it.
Cool. That was fun. Remember your commendations.
Yes, there are fun ones later that are solely tank based.
It's kind of hot. Right, yeah, because Bahamut we see is a primal Bahamut. Right.
Yes.
Why is the tank apologizing? He's fine. Literally, like, unless you, like, actively try to foobar something, I don't think anybody really cares.
Yeah, I think it's because you went AFK earlier in the dungeon.
I mean, it's whatever. All right, are we inviting Kiwi for Q or not? Need to know.
I don't know. Are we Kiwi?
Okay, look at this. Look at this dog. Where is Peter? The horse is here.
Motorcycles here.
We're just gonna bully Kiwi, aren't we? Look at this nerd going AFK.
Of course it is.
Wow. Wants to do content, is invited to do content, isn't actually there to do content. Well, what's the emote? Social emote. Okay, I need to swap over to Lancer anyways. Oh, fucking never change. 14, never change.
We're doing leveling.
Yeah, we're gonna do leveling next. I need to get Lancer up a little bit higher. I am 32.
Time to make a mistake.
You're gonna play Black Mage?
See if I can. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Actually gonna play best mage in the game.
Not best mage. Red mage. Best mage.
Anderson, thank you for the resub. It's already been 9 months. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I gotta.
The past 9 months. Next to expansion, they're gonna love. I'm very much looking forward to them. I figured I would take today to film a Final Fantasy Friday. I'm probably gonna have to split this into 2 parts. Kind of the retrospective of A Realm Reborn, and then I got Fall Guys, and that kind of satisfies my quota for a couple of weeks while I get enough uploads done to justify sitting down and going back through and writing my not only 14 scripts but several other scripts I have in mind. But yeah, no, it's been a good run. Thank you for being here, Tamsin. Can't wait to see what the next expansions have to offer. Rev, how could you resub to me?
I gotta keep that streak going. I want to keep my star.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
I want to keep my first marker.
I guess that's fair, yeah. Look at this.
Gotta show that I've been here since the beginning.
Yeah, that's a flex.
I guess we're queuing without him.
Yeah, we're just gonna. I don't know what he's doing. He's doing something. It's fine. Worst case scenario, he shows back if it's like, oh, 12-minute queue time. Oh boy, my favorite Squidward. Urban Cohort, thank you for the sub. Oh my god, guys, no hype train, please.
So close. We just need one more.
Oh no, don't.
Get the hype train. Come on, people.
I can't wait for. I love those trees over there. I can't wait to get some to piss Kiwi off. The little Sakura bubblegum trees over there, where I'm looking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Those are nice. I don't remember where to get those.
I'm gonna get some of those. And I'm gonna put them in the yard, and it's gonna piss Kiwi off.
One of the market. We're at item cap. We can't physically put anything else at the house to update.
I guess that's fair. There was something about updates and housing that I saw in chat in regards to floating items.
I saw that. The housing update is fixing a lot of collision stuff and increasing the item limit.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So a lot of the backroom jump puzzles are going to be broken.
Yeah, well, I figure they could be fine with it, but I feel like they kind of have to address it in some capacity. I don't know. I don't know their stance on it is the thing. Wolfrun 2, thank you for the gifted sub. There's the train. Thank you. You're not obligated to. I really do appreciate it. Heavensward Dungeon, you're going to see a Star Times AR dungeon those after. Right, and I'm looking forward to just getting to a Corythus that doesn't make me want to fall asleep. And like, as I said, I understand why Corythus is the way it is in ARR. I get it. I totally understand. There's a lot of setting up. There's a lot of just segments that they've even cut down on. Like, there's a lot. And I'm actually really looking forward to what Heavensward has to bring with Corythus. I'm very excited. I
just realized when I updated my account, I broke my Black Mage hotbar. This is a nightmare.
Oof. I mean,
I will fix it eventually.
In low tier content, you really only need like fire ice, the swap. Yeah.
I mean, you're level 30?
22. No,
22.
I'm 32. What? Okay. Wow, that's weird. Yeah, no, we're not going to be in big dungeons. I mean, you're going to have like your Lucid Dreaming on. You're going to have your Spaced It. Addle, right? The debuff. Yeah. Yeah, not a whole lot to do with this class. Just a lot of large cast times.
That's why you use Swiftcast.
Western Corythus and Heavensward is not Eastern Corythus and ARR. That is refreshing to know. And like,
Yes.
I want to like Corythus. God, it makes me fall asleep though.
Well, it's the serene ice, the nice music,
Yeah.
and nothing there.
Yeah. I mean, there's like things there. There's like alpha hunts and stuff there.
There's your favorite mud puppy there.
Oh, that, because I need to discuss that in the script, actually. Like, it was one of those things that never actually came back, wasn't it? It was, because, so what I'm referencing is, you go to the fort that, on the second floor that captain guy's at, and he's talking about how his troops need meat, and there's a mud puppy in that local cave, so you backtrack to that local cave, and you're supposed to, like, put oil on the mud puppy to weaken it, because it's too strong otherwise. And that's part of the quest, is so you have to, like, well, targeting the mud puppy, right? So I'm targeting Rev right now. While you're targeting the mud puppy, you have to go up here, you have to hit options, you have to hit use item, and then you have the bar to use the item, and the mud puppy can interrupt you at any point in time during. So it wasn't super solo friendly, and even outside of that, it's just, there was a lot of interface to go through, and as far as I'm aware, and someone can absolutely correct me if I'm wrong on this, it's never been used again in that context of using an item like that mid-fight. I mean, it'd be different.
It's used a lot in like leaves that you can pick up.
Really?
But yeah, you also did it the hard way. If you're looking at your quest log, there's when you have a use item thing for a quest, there's always a little marker next to your quest log. You can just click that and auto use it.
Okay, so then clearly part of the issues are resolved by me not reading my interface, right? I mean, interface.
Yeah.
That anyone coming into this game, I feel, is gonna have to tweak their interface in some capacity. Just one of those that, like, for the area it was in and for what it was asking, it felt a little strange. Rarely used outside of ARR. Yeah, okay, so it's a pretty niche mechanic then. But I mean, it's that if that's a low point, right? I mean, the game does do a hell of a lot else that's actually really good. And that's what I want to, like, showcase. Anyone can make a negative YouTube video, right? I watched a video earlier about an update in regards to the Logan Paul Crypto Zoo situation. Anybody can make a negative situation. Anybody can put out yet another video on the Sniper Wolf situation, right? I feel that I can do things a little differently. I think that there's a lower general market cap, but I don't know, it just doesn't... I don't feel good making negative content. I really don't. Can't believe Kiwi is still AFK. What is he doing? Is he?
I don't know.
Did he message in Discord? No, he didn't.
Not in the last hour.
That's strange. He might be asleep.
Probably.
Because he does that. He works late. No, I was going to be on Master Duel for a little bit longer, but then I ended up...
Raging?
Yeah, a little bit. Got into a streak of losses, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I need to get some 14 stuff done, so... That's hence where we're at.
Yes. And then other thing, I'm going to test your knowledge real quick. What's the technical term for that weapon on your back?
I mean, it's a spear, but I think it counts as a lance, technically.
No.
Like, are we talking 14 or are we talking actual?
Actual.
It'd either be a fork or a trident.
It's a bident.
I was about to say bident too, god damn it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh. Yep, just remember, it's in the name.
Yeah.
A trident is 3, a fork is 4.
Well, yeah, but I think that... I was the understanding that there was some, like, trident could encompass more. Bident makes a lot of sense, actually.
No.
It showed you, I know a friend caused her physical distress. Hell yeah.
That's the goal. Have a UI so terrible that it causes your friends pain.
Actual, just goals in life.
I mean, when Kiwi saw mine, he made me fix it, so...
Like, as much shit as we give Kiwi, he does memes. He is the meme.
Yeah.
Oh, I also love discussing mods with Kiwi. Oh my god. If you ever want to hear Kiwi just go on a tangent, ask him what his thoughts and opinions are on Bethesda mods. God. I know you've been there when Bach and I have been in voice chat. I know you've been there. It is next level. UI's worse than PC. I think the wheel looks kind of cool, but I haven't also played it, so I mean, eh.
Oh yeah, no, console UI is a trip.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Cross hotbar is weird.
It looked strange, but it looked like it was intuitive. It looked like you could pick on it fairly.
It's very streamlined. I mean, your bumpers and triggers or R1, R2s are your swaps, and then it's just your face buttons and arrow keys.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be pretty intuitive once you get into it. A lot of Japanese themes I'm noticing in regards to a lot of the architecture around here that people are choosing. I do kind of like
a Japanese hub.
I kind of like
everyone just likes the Japanese style.
The welcome plaque up here, the welcome sign on the door, kind of reminds me of like Tolkien-esque writing. I kind of like that.
I think that's actually the hub that's in this zone. A lot of players will turn their house into like bars or kind of commerce and relaxation areas
or clubs
or nightclubs.
I got a video notification on YouTube the other day, and it was like I got invited to an S *** club in Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm like,
yes, there's a lot of this.
Yeah, sounds pretty par for the course. Which surprises me. We don't have more VTubers in 14. I thought.
So I found out the counteraction of that.
Oh,
we do.
Do we?
They are just a lot farther than you.
I guess that's fair. 2 chat boxes, 5 item bars, access to 48 hotkeys via the crossbar. That's kind of hot, though, actually.
I'm trying to play Black Mage like Red Mage. This is not working correctly.
No, you can't play the two the same. No. Oh, big pull. Seeing all these good things that 14 does, and you have it even parts considered the good ones. See, it's regarded as the worst of the game, and that's the thing. You can see the worst in a game and still have a positive opinion on it. You can absolutely have critiques, and even then, like, I feel like if I did a true like critique, I feel it'd be really poorly received, because if I say something like the dungeons are pretty wonky, Kip, that literally gets addressed at the end of ARR. Like, that literally gets fixed, right? You know, it's just like, I want to do my best to like showcase that this is a cool game. This is awesome, and it only gets better. That's an absolute win.
Oh, we're actually just going for it.
Yeah, no, like past couple parties I've had, they've done pretty big pulls. Take a black mage and a red mage into Hawkeye Manor and have many big explosions indoors. Yeah.
That's how to blind your entire party.
Sounds like a great idea, actually.
That's very fun, yes.
Yeah, no, we're doing big pulls. I'll take it. I just read our dance.
Still has it.
I just read our dancer's name.
We don't have a dancer.
Who's the mentor?
The mentor?
Yeah.
We don't have one.
Who the fuck is right there? The femboy dude.
That's our healer, and he's a returning.
Oh, I thought that was the mentor symbol.
No, mentor is just a crown. That's the returning.
Speaking of, are you gonna go fucking do Lapis in your mentor queue today?
I don't have mentor queue.
I thought you did.
You have to have every class at 90 to get mentor. I don't have mentor.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh, it's very easy, yes. It's just not that far yet because I like crafting.
I mean, to be fair, crafting is kind of legit.
Yes.
So when are you streaming your Eureka progress? So that way you have incentive to go through Eureka.
Tomorrow, actually.
Gotta go stream that Eureka. Just be like, yeah, hate Ozma.
Yeah, no, I'm actually doing that tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
That's on my list.
Cool. I need to hop in when you do that then. And just sit there and gain channel
points.
points.
You into spy game tomorrow, though.
I need to see what I'm doing tomorrow. Like, I was up like all night. I got a lot of the end cards done though. Like, I went through all the Kip TV channel, got all that done. A lot of stuff.
Kip, you can't form channel points online.
Right, affiliate.
I'm not big enough to have that. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting to affiliate is oddly hard, is what I will say.
Yes, I'm aware.
It's like building it up, but once you build it up, it seems to go a little faster.
We didn't take care of the other clan. I gotta take care of that.
They took crafting, made the professions, literal jobs and abilities, rotations, buffs, and materia. As someone that's only done fishing, I mean, I've kind of seen it, but I really do appreciate that. It gives it a level of... It's not quite as AFK as, like, you know, RuneScape, right? Where, I mean, even then, they technically updated smithing in RuneScape 3 to have, like, item heat and stuff like that. So that made it a little more immersive. But, I mean, we all remember, you know, just ticking away an old-school RuneScape with the mining rocks and stuff like that. And it was pretty AFK-able. But I like that it's more engaging. Teal Mask tomorrow, is that next week? I was actually going to try to do it tonight, but I need to see how long 14 is going to take us. And even then, if I get one Teal Mask out, oh darn, that's one Teal Mask out. I actually have a lot of shit I have to convert, so I should probably take it easy the next couple days while I let shit actually convert and upload. Like, I have, like, all the React videos from yesterday, 1 or 2 from Tuesday. I uploaded those Teal Mask videos. Pokemon Monday will have 2 uploads, by the way. It's going to have generally more of a randomizer kind of type run, and then it's going to have stuff like, you know, me playing through mainline Teal Mask, Emerald, etc. So Pokemon Mondays is going to be like that. Nintendo Tuesdays, I'm still working on the name for that, but it gives me a chance to go through my backlog of Nintendo. So like Mario Sunshine, those VODs are going to be live. I've kind of decided that because I'm playing some older games with really garbage quality, right? Like we're talking like 240p. I'm actually using the title splash screens in HD as the thumbnail. The Majora's Mask one is, you know, my thumbnails for that are actually kind of indicative of that. It's actually kind of working though. Like it actually makes my pipeline a lot easier. Something like Dead Space is a lot easier to get a photo for. It's really hard to get a photo for like Mario Sunshine that doesn't look like you're looking through mud. It's just of the era. I was thinking of Nintendo Tuesdays. That's the name I was thinking of. But it allows me to go through like Zelda. I still gotta get through Tears of the Kingdom, which it really kind of fell off, didn't it?
That's a slog.
I mean, that's why I did a lot of stuff off stream. That's why I do have, you know, I have my Fierce Deity sword. Cool. And that's all stuff that doesn't relate to the story anyways.
Yeah, once you get to the dungeons, it's a grind. Like, those dungeons are rough.
I believe it. I mean, I gotta play the game. I want to get through it and then have an opinion on it. And then I gotta go through my Breath of the Wild Master Mode anyways.
Without spoilers, the fire dungeon is just one massively long puzzle that you will get lost in at least twice.
That sounds about right. That was me. Well, to be fair, that was me in the Wind Temple from Wind Waker. Kip does what Nintendo don't. If there wasn't issues with branding, God, I'd use that. No, like
no. The fire dungeon, it likes the rail carts because that's the new big thing for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So you're just riding those everywhere, and it's not indicative. The map doesn't help.
I believe it. Very, like, I'm curious. Well, because water dungeons are generally the quote-unquote worst, and by worst, it just means
water
that...
dungeon was the easiest one.
Which is weird, because it's not that, like, Great Bay Temple was hard. It's not that Twilight Princess's Lake Hylia Temple was hard. It's not like the Water Temple from Ocarina was hard. It's that they're not linear. And so that ends up being a lot of people's complaints, is that it's not a linear experience, and thus you're able to get lost in it. The fact that it's the easiest is kind of interesting. But yeah, that's kind of intermittent while we're doing Final Fantasy. It's kind of plans I'm having in the works. I'm trying to get to the point where I can have double daily uploads, but right now, I mean, some days are going to have double uploads to help with branding purposes, but others are just going to have like one upload. Like, I want to do Faz tonight because I actually haven't played Faz in a couple days. I wanted to try to get a few of those knocked out, which is why I wanted to do 14 early. Teal Mask is just like, I can just boot that up whenever.
What do we have left? We have the rest of our roulettes, then some Fall Guys, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to have to make 2 parts of this 14 retrospective. I'm gonna have to have a second
fine.
part of this, and then we'll have to do Fall Guys. So there's gonna be 3 tonight. This is actually an overly long Final Fantasy Fridays, but there was a lot of information to tackle, specifically in the first 2 queues. Also, like, long queue times didn't help, but to be fair, like, servers are under heavy load, and everyone's fucking playing Fall Guys right now. Like,
Oh yeah, no, Fall Guys was instant queues earlier. Like you queue up and immediately ping.
oh, was it? God, that's such a difference than it was the other day. Because I was playing with Kiwi, and it was like 5-minute queues. Water
They
levels
are very laggy tonight, though.
got it. Okay, so expect hitbox issues. Like, there's one of those that
I
was.
wouldn't even say hitbox issues per se. People were desynced for the most part.
Oh,
So like you could get to the end and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, 16 out of 16, you're eliminated.
huh. I mean, I'm sure 14's doing their best, like, in the background. Like, I'm sure that... Kip, why are you giving 14 a free pass when you don't give Destiny a free pass? Well, I'm glad you asked, I'm glad you asked, random non-existent viewer. Because that is a death by... In its short capacity, because I don't want to derail this entirely. Bungie is a death by 1,000 cuts at this point, and I really don't have respect for companies that will lay off specifically in time of the holidays. As somebody that... Oh, it sounds like there's some tea that I'm missing.
Yes, I know you don't check my TikToks I send you. I sent you a video. Did you know that Destiny was down completely last night?
No. What?
Yeah. The app was down completely. The website was 404'd.
Oh.
And you could load into the like loading screen, like interworld kind of just screen where you're
Yeah.
sending your ship.
Yeah.
You could not load into any planet. You could not load into the tower.
God, that's... Man, it's almost like if you fire your devs, that's a problem. And it's almost like I've been saying this whole time, do not hate the devs, hate the management. And oh boy, as it turns out, it was a management issue all along. Wow, Kip, you might know what you're talking about a little bit.
Did you? I don't know if there's any validity to this, so I'll save it until after stream to tell you it, but there is some more tea.
Okay, yeah, but I don't want to derail this because I talk about Bungie, and it actually makes me angry. I want it to be good.
All night and
I will leave it.
Never run out of talking points.
I want the game to be good, and that's why I've hated on it. But now, 14 and other games respect my time a lot better. So naturally, I'm going to go where my time feels more well spent. That's all there is to it.
The only thing I can confirm with Destiny at this point, or not, yeah, Destiny, is there is a mass refund of Final Shape pre-orders.
Yeah, I've done mine. Like, I don't have a response yet, and I might be past 3 months of pre-ordering, but I've already refunded mine. I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with this. And I said in my Steam reply, I'm like, look, there's been a lot of layoffs and stuff. This was a pre-order for a different company in a different game. So if I get refunded, cool. If I don't get refunded, whatever. At least the attempt was made there. But it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people are mass unsubscribing and mass refunding. It doesn't surprise me at all. Metal Gardevoir, that is a Pokemon Violet exclusive, and it's in Area 0, specifically between Area 2 and 3 in a cave. Online guide should point you in the right direction. Hey, I'll take that level up. I am not opposed to getting that level up.
That's free company shit.
Bungie also laid off the music creator who did music, and that's unfortunate because Root of Nightmares, Syzygy, and Onirophobia are masterpieces, which that is a damn problem. But alas, that's Leveling Roulette. Regards to anyone curious about 14, right? Leveling Roulette. You just have a queue that you can just go in and it gives you increased EXP yields. Don't queue up yet.
I'm not.
It's cool. I feel like it respects your time as someone, once again, that came from RuneScape, where leveling was a little bit of a slog. So naturally, I look at something like a leveling queue and go, damn, that actually gives some good XP. But alas, we do have a few more queues we have to go through in regards to kind of just spitballing my thoughts on on Final Fantasy XIV. So that will be next time on the Final Fantasy Fridays on Kip TV. If you're coming out here, appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. I know this was a little bit longer. There's just a lot more to get through. Next time should be a little bit shorter. And then Fall Guys. And then by that time, we're probably about through December at some point, and I really should be finishing ARR before the year ends. That's my goal. Year end, I want to finish ARR and be working on that script. But alas, let me know your thoughts in the comments section, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.